Good morning and welcome to the Oasis Center for Spiritual Living, where we come together as one, providing spiritual tools for daily living. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Reverend Tucker. I'm the senior minister here at the Oasis, and I have this great team that God has provided me that is just awesome. Let me start out with, let's see, who's been here the longest? It's been Oz. Okay, so Oz is my partner in crime. He was my first baby practitioner. And he is our practitioner of the day. So he's going to be doing the invocation and the benediction, and he'll be available at the end for our 1-minute miracle. I'll tell you more about that later. He was my board president for many years, and then he went off to Florida, and we lost track of him for a while, and now he's back. And he's spending the summer in Wisconsin instead of Florida, because imagine that, right? So, we're really glad to have you with us. Thank you so much for being here, Oz. All right. And then there's Miss Tina. This is Albertina Giuffre, who has been a singer in our church since 2000. That's a while back. Oz has been with me since 1998. You've been with me since 2000. It's like, Tina has been taking a break because it's too much to do every week. So we bring her back for all these wonderful holidays that we have because we love her beautiful voice. So Tina's also a practitioner in our church as well. So, all right. Thank you for being here, Tina. We love you. And then we have my faithful assistant, Faith, who has been with us her whole life. When were you born? 2001?
2004.
2004. So Tina was there 4 years longer than you. Anyway, she would help her mom or her dad at the sound booth when she was a newborn baby. And then once she learned how to crawl, she crawled up onto the podium like she belonged up there onto the stage. So I would put her on the podium and she would do announcements with me. And then later on, she became an usher and started handing out affirmation cards at the end. And when she was 14 and a half, she's now 19. When she was 14 and a half, she said, I want a real job. So I hired her for my business. And as soon as the pandemic struck and we started doing online services, she became my assistant here too. So she's been my assistant a very long time. And she is the person behind the scenes that does everything. I just talk, thankfully, because I don't multitask really well when I'm talking. I get very off track. So she is here to make sure all of that happens. She's also going to be singing for us today. She's been our soloist since Tina left, and she and Tina are splitting the bill this week because it is Mother's Day. Thank you for being here. All right, we love you. All right. So, of course, it's Mother's Day. So we are going to be having a very different service today. Our order of service is very different. Let's put it that way. This is what we like to call our Mother's Day honoring ceremony because we will be honoring mothers of all types. So you will notice that we're not doing as much music on the front end, but we're doing a lot more music during the service. So let me get some things over with here. If you are here, please say hi, hello, good morning, however you would like to greet us. When we're in a facility, I can look out and see who's here, but I can't see you, unfortunately. I only get a number. I don't even get a name. So please say hi, hello, good morning, however you'd like to do that. There is also a watch party button. So if you want to invite your friends to show them what kind of service they can expect on a Sunday morning, hit the watch party button, invite all your friends. You'll be able to talk back and forth without bothering anybody because it's private. And so this is a great way for them to see what kind of things we do. It's not our typical service, but it is a way for them to see what kind of things we can do. So hit that watch party button and invite all your friends. I'd like right now to invite you to close your eyes if that feels comfortable. Allow the service to uplift and inspire you as we move into our centering song.
Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can feel the rush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place. Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can feel the rush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place.
The presence of God is right here, right now, wherever and whenever you are. For God is all things for all times, or God as we conceive of it, encompasses the entire universe, from the largest galaxy to the smallest atom. God's presence is wholly felt through whole times. I know that this is true for me and for each of those listening and participating in our service today, and that as we allow it to open, the blessings flow forth from God to God, within God, and all around God. I know this is good and very good, and I give thanks to be part of it, and I let it be so, and so it is.
So it is. Thank you so much, Oz. So here's where we deviate. We're not going to do the rest of the songs that we usually do at the beginning. We're going to kind of jump right into, this is a different one. Okay. We're just going to jump right into the collection and the announcements. And so right now, please go to, in a minute, go to www.oasiscsl.org. And it doesn't matter whether you're viewing this in real time or you're stopping by later on. We want you to, of course, tune in or go to our website, www.oasiscsl.org. About 2/3 down the pages are offering affirmation that I'm going to have you say with me. And underneath that is the Contribute Now button. And I want to speak a little bit about that before we go there, what the Contribute Now button is all about, because a contribution does not mean, we don't have a facility. So it doesn't mean rent or utilities or all the normal expenses you have when you have a facility. What you're contributing to is our vision of a healed world and our mission, which is to heal the world one person at a time. And so that means that we need to be global. If we were talking about the whole world, we already have people that join us from the UK, from the Netherlands, from Germany, because there are English-speaking countries. But we want to expand that to the rest of the world. So it takes money to do that. Unfortunately, we have to market to those countries. We have to make ourselves visible. Let's put it that way. We have to constantly market. We can't just market once and it's done. So that's what you're contributing to. So I invite you now, whether you're watching in real time or later on, to go with me now to www.oasiscsl.org. And about 2/3 down the page, please say this offering affirmation with me. This perfect gift is spirit in form, circulating and blessing all it touches. Freely I give and joyously I receive. And so it is. Now hit that Contribute Now button, knowing that you're giving to our mission and our vision right now. Okay. So if you like something that you hear, whether that's something I say or the team sings or Oz prays, use that like button. We like to get likes and we love to get love. So if you love something, of course, use the heart. So let's see, I can't make a heart. There we go. Because we love to get love as well. And if something strikes you as very powerful, as usually happens with our Mother's Day healing service, by all means, use the wow button. That lets us know that we are on track with what we're doing. So, all right. Now, we are at the point, let's see, where's the, I don't have all the, oh, did I print it? I don't know. Okay. We have this wonderful team of licensed practitioners from coast to coast that makes up the healing arm of our church. We call them the God Squad. And what better name for them than that? They perform a few functions. One is practitioner of the day, which is what Oz is doing today. Another one is that they pray every day on requests that we receive for a week. So if you would like prayer for something, in the comments section, type in what you would like prayer for. If you don't want it to be public, we understand. Then just DM Faith and she'll make sure it gets to the God Squad. And they will pray on those requests every day for a week. And they also are available by appointment for a spiritual guidance by appointment for a fee. And so you would reach out to them. We're updating the website so that you'll be able to click through right away to their Facebook. But you check them out on the website, decide whether that's somebody you want to work with, and then you can find them on Facebook and let them know that you would like a session for spiritual guidance, and they will let you know how to pay for that. Some people use PayPal, some people use Cash App, some Venmo, some Wise. I don't get involved in that. They have their own separate businesses. So I have no idea which practitioner uses which service. But anyway, you pay for the session and you make an appointment, and at your appointed time, they will reach out to you by video chat. Now, Oz is available for what we call our 1-minute miracle at the end of this. It's a time where you're not getting guidance. You're not getting spiritual guidance. It's just a stop, drop, and pray situation. You tell him what condition you're experiencing, and he will pray with you right then and there. You reach out to him by video chat. If for some reason he doesn't answer right away, it probably means that he's on with someone else. And so just try back later. But anyway, that's another function that the practitioners do. They take turns, hopefully someday, so Oz could get a break being practitioner of the day and functioning that way. All right. I want to mention Brooks and Bailey. This is a mala bead necklace. I'm not even going to put it on this morning. I'm just going to talk about it. This is a mala bead necklace with 108 beads. This is amethyst. I requested amethyst, so it's $60. But they have all kinds of gemstones, and depending on the gemstone you pick, I can't get this undone. What? It just keeps going. Okay. Depending on the gemstone you pick, it's $30 and up. And these are great. The Hindus and Buddhists use it for their chants. So they move a bead, say the chant, move a bead, say the chant. I think they're great for doing your affirmations, because I always recommend that you do 100 affirmations a day, and the necklace has 108 beads on it, and the bracelets have 54. So you would just use that twice. But anyway, oh, there it is. I see it now. Here is their thing here. All the proceeds go to Rocky Mountain Lab Rescue, and you can reach them through Brooks and Bailey 0307@gmail.com or on their Facebook page. Whenever they have a booth at any event and they share that, I share it on my page because I want people to go and support them. We like to support those who support us. So there you go. All right, Faith.
And please check out the Mystic Brew. The website no longer works. However, you can order through Instagram and Facebook. We have intention jars as well as kits to make them yourself, and bath salts that help focus on whatever you are currently working on. And then we are also now offering Zumba classes at 1 p.m. Mountain Time for 30 minutes. The class is still live, so please feel free to sign up. We have new music today for Mother's Day as well.
Awesome. Thank you. And then as an adjunct to that, we have Angel Renee has an Etsy store where she sells intention candles and an intention tea bag. It's filled with all these aromatic herbs that help you focus on whatever it is you want to focus on. In this case, it would be your intention. So check her out as well. We always like to acknowledge the two people that contribute to our Sunday service by offering their music for us to do. The first one is Reverend Fairy Elaine Silver. We use a lot of her music. We Are All One song that we're not doing today is one of hers that she wrote while she was in practitioner training. But she's written a lot. And her website, unfortunately, she isn't able to update it. So you can't pay on the website. You just go to the website, look at whatever CD you want, contact her by email, let her know. She travels around the country singing, and she always carries her CDs in the trunk of her car. So when you reach out to her and pay for it, she will send it the next day. She's really good about that. So definitely check out Elaine. And then Karen Drucker's website does work. And she has gifted us with her entire collection of 20 CDs. Faith, can you change that to Karen? Thank you. She has gifted us with her entire collection of like 20 CDs. You can buy it by the song. You can buy it by the songbook. You can buy it by a CD. Some of the songs in the songbook have American Sign Language. She also provides karaoke files if you want to use them for your karaoke parties, whatever. And her website does work, so you can purchase it right off the website. And we do a lot of Karen Drucker's music. The one at the very end, I Am So Blessed, that we're not doing today, is one of hers. So definitely check her out. And Tina, you're going to be singing Dear Ellie, which is one of hers. So anyway, if you like Dear Ellie, if you like that song, you want to reach out on her website and purchase that. So there you go. All right. And then check out our website at www.oasiscsl.org. And that is where you're going to find videos of the last 3 years, video sermons and audio sermons for the years prior to that. We are updating the website. Please understand it may not be caught up. However, all of that information is available on YouTube and SoundCloud. YouTube has the video sermons, and SoundCloud has the audio sermons, and it's under S. Tucker. But also on our website, you will find my ordination pictures, Lynn's ordination pictures. I think there's some videos up there, pictures of picnics and that kind of thing. So you get to know who your spiritual family is when you join us. So definitely check us out. And let's see, I think that's it, isn't it? Yeah, that's it for the announcements. So I like to get all of that stuff out of the way in the very beginning, because I want to leave you at the end with just the feeling of what the healing ceremony is. So that way we don't have to go back to doing business, you know. It's always perfect to do that. All right. My goodness, Janet, hi. Did you say hi, hello, anything? She just loved it. I can't tell who's on here. You may have missed that. So just say hi, good morning, hello, however you want to greet us, just to let us know that you're here. Faith is going to be sending virtual roses to people. So if you are still here, you didn't just pop in and love it and then pop back out. If you're still here, please let us know so Faith knows she can reach you. All right. That's my cousin Janet, by the way. All right. So this is the first Mother's Day without my sister. So this is going to be different. I haven't really done a service without my sister since 1998. She was with us at the Denver church. And then the day that we started doing these online services, she joined us. And this is the first one I'm doing. Well, the first Mother's Day I'm doing without her. So pardon me if I choke up a little bit today. It might be a little difficult, but I'm gonna make my way through it. It being Mother's Day, we have a tradition in our church of doing this honoring ceremony. We've had so many people that have had major healings from doing this. And so until somebody tells me there's no more healings, I'm going to keep doing it this way. It's a day where we not only honor those biological mothers that have female bodies, but the mothers that are stepmothers, the dads who function as mothers, our aunts and teachers, and anybody else who has functioned as mothers and has helped to parent us along the way, the loving and nurturing that mothers provide. And while I'm at it, I am a mother of several 4-legged animals and 2 birds. Well, 1 bird now. I also like to honor that. At one point, I had 4 dogs in the house, which I thought was a lot. My sister had 9 at one time, which I think is a lot. And we even had a lady who had a grand snake when we were in the facility that she brought. So we can also be mothers of snakes too. And we have a kinship ministry at the Oasis. And at one point we had someone who had a rat who sat behind her hair in the back, a Maine Coon cat that sat in the back in the bookstore shelves because of the rat. We didn't want any problems. When we've done our animal blessings, we've had snakes and birds, we've had all kinds of critters. So I like to honor everybody that functions in the way of being a mother in any way, shape, or form, because I think it's the same energy, no matter what you're talking about, whether you're talking about a human or an animal. And it's that energy within us that wants to care for and nurture and love someone. And so we honor everybody today that functions in that way, in any way, shape, or form. I always am uncomfortable with the title mom, even though I've taken in quite a few kids. But they've all been either grown men or almost grown women. From Aiko to Keith and Alex and Vincent and Raymond. And it's funny because whenever they would call me mom, I'd get upset because I am not a mom. I didn't have any children. And now I've inherited 3 sets. But I was okay with Raymond calling me proxy mom because his mom died. And so I was there for his high school graduation because she couldn't be there. And I was there to fill in whenever his mom would normally be there. So proxy mom worked out well for me. I was asked to be Faith's godmother when she was born, and I said no, because one of the functions of godparents is when the parents are gone, the kids have to be raised by the godparents, and I was not in a position to raise babies. So I said no. And Faith and I have had a long conversation about it, and we have decided since she's 19, Hannah will be 18 in August, and is graduating high school next week. That's pretty cool. That it's okay for me to be her godmother now. So I'm functioning as godmother. And so I guess I'll honor myself today for that function if I have to. But, you know, when I look at my ordination photos, it strikes a chord in my heart that everybody who was up there on the podium with me is now gone. It started with Reverend Dr. Kathleen Vogt, who died about a year before my mother. My mother's been gone 6 years. And then Marjorie Stamm died about 3 or 4 years ago. And last year, Reverend Dr. Marlene Morris passed away a year ago, almost to the day, from COVID. And so I've lost all these mother figures. Dr. Marjorie Stamm she was the grandmother I always wanted. Just love, just huggy love, cuddly love, whatever you want to call it. And so they represented that mother energy to me. So I want to make sure that we honor not only the parents or the mothers who are alive today, or the mothers that are alive today that aren't female, perhaps, like Steve Rollins, who basically, Faith had a mother, then she didn't, and then she had a stepmother, and then she didn't. And so even though we're going to be honoring Lisa, Steve has functioned as mom and dad at various points in her life. So we want to honor Steve for that too. So it doesn't mean that you have to have a female body. If you're giving that nurturing energy to somebody, I don't know what's going on in my head. If you're giving that nurturing energy to someone and you're functioning as a mother figure, then I think we need to honor all of that. So today we're going to honor the mothers who are alive. and functioning that way. We're going to honor the ones where there's trouble, whether that's physical ailments or trouble in the relationship between you and your mother, or any kind of emotional issue that's going on with your mother. Any of that, we're gonna honor those people, and then we're gonna honor mothers who have passed. So hold on to your seats because we're about to get started. Faith is going to send out virtual roses for each of these things. There are different ones. So we're going to ask you to type in right now in the comments section your mother's name if she is living, or if you are a mother like Cindy is, and Faith is. Faith is a four-legged mommy. Cindy's a mommy, a grandma, and a four-legged, and she used to be a bird mom. She used to have parrots. So definitely Cindy is going to be honored today. But if your mother is living, I'd like you to type her name in the comments section. We're going to speak her name into the room so that when we honor her, she's present, right? Okay. So let me pull this up. I usually do a reading first. Let me get to that part. Okay, my mother taught me. Oh, I might have to get my. Things my mother taught me. I need my glasses for this. My mother taught me logic. If you fall off that swing and break your neck, you can't go to the store with me. My mother taught me medicine. If you don't stop crossing your eyes, they're going to freeze that way. How many of you heard that one? My mother taught me to think ahead. If you don't pass your spelling test, you'll never get a good job. My mother taught me ESP. Put your sweater on. Don't you think that I know when you're cold? My mother taught me to meet a challenge. What were you thinking? Answer me when I talk to you. Don't talk back to me. Ever have that conversation? Boy, that's always tricky, isn't it? Okay, I have something in the private. Okay. My mother taught me humor. When that lawnmower cuts off your toes, don't come running to me. My mother taught me how to become an adult. If you don't eat your vegetables, you'll never grow up. My mother taught me about sex. How do you think you got here? None of us like to think about that. My mother taught me about genetics. You are just like your father. My mother taught me about my roots. Do you think you were born in a barn? My mother taught me about the wisdom of age. When you get to be my age, you will understand. My mother taught me about anticipation. Just wait until your father gets home. That didn't work out in our household because in our household, he didn't like conflict. So Dad was always the forgiving one, and he let us get away with everything. But when he would get really, really mad, he'd say, just wait till your mother gets home, because she was the bigger threat. My mother taught me about receiving. You're going to get it when we get home. And my all-time favorite thing, justice. One day you will have kids, and I hope they turn out just like you. Then you'll see what it's like. So thanks a lot, Mom. You cursed me with that, and I never had kids. It's all your fault. It's all my mother's fault. All right. I have one more before we get to the blessing. This is by Irma Bombeck, who is a comedian and an author. And this is called When God Created Mothers. Irma Louise, let's see, she was a humorist. Where did I go? I have a little bio on her. I don't need to read that. When God Created Mothers. When the good Lord was creating mothers, he was into his 6th day of overtime when the angel appeared and said, "You're doing a lot of fiddling around on this one." And God said, "Have you read the specs on this order? She has to be completely washable, but not plastic, have 180 movable parts, all replaceable, run on black coffee and leftovers, have a lap that disappears when she stands up, a kiss that can cure anything from a broken leg to a disappointed love affair, and 6 pairs of hands. The angel shook her head slowly and said, 6 pairs of hands? No way. It's not the hands that are causing me problems, God remarked. It's the 3 pairs of eyes that mothers have to have. That's on the standard models? Asked the angel. God nodded. 1 pair that sees through closed doors when she asks, what are you kids doing in there, when she already knows. Another here in the back of her head that sees what she shouldn't, but what she has to know. And of course, the ones here in front that can look at a child when he goofs up and say, I understand and I love you, without so much as uttering a word. God, said the angel, touching his sleeve gently, get some rest tomorrow. I can't, said God. I'm so close to creating something so close to myself. Already I have one who heals herself when she's sick, can feed a family of 6 on 1 pound of hamburger, and can get a 9-year-old to stand under a shower. The angel circled the model of a mother very slowly. It's too soft, she sighed. But tough, said God excitedly. You can imagine what this mother can do or endure. Can it think? Not only can it think, but it can reason and compromise, said the Creator. Finally, the angel bent over and ran her finger across her cheek. There's a leak, she pronounced. I told you that you were trying to put too much into this model. It's not a leak, said the Lord. It's a tear. What's it for? It's for joy, sadness, disappointment, pain, loneliness, and pride. You're a genius, said the angel. Somberly, God said, I didn't put it there. Okay, choke up number 1. So right now, Oz put Bernice in the room. We have Missy, Stella. Oops, hang on, I'm trying to read this. Missy, Stella, Lisa, Steve, and Tucker. Okay, I'll accept it. And along those lines, my little Chica's had 4 litters of puppies, so she's a mom too. And Smokey never had kids, unfortunately. We tried, apparently. Vincent tried, I should say. And so she never had any, but she mothers Chica. She's so sweet with Chica. It's really funny to see this big dog and this little itty bitty thing. And, you know, she just really takes care of her. So that's something there. I also want to acknowledge my cousin Janet, who is a fur mommy and a human mommy. She has 2 kids, and she has 2 grandkids, I think, 2 or 3. And her mother, who's still alive, my Aunt Jackie. So I'm speaking all of those names into the room right now as we acknowledge all of their commitment to nurturing us and protecting us and taking care of us, and all of the sacrifices they have made to grow us into adult humans, because we couldn't do this without them. And so I want to honor that right now. So I bless these mothers. I bless their sacrifices that they've made. I bless them in their continued love, unconditional love that they provide us. So thank you, mothers, for doing all of this. And Faith will now be sending a purple rose for all of those who responded. And also, would you please send it to my cousin Janet Williams. I know she was here at one point. I just don't think she's here anymore. I think she pops in and says love and then pops back out again. She's a funny character, that cousin of mine. And so I'm honoring all of these mothers as well. I am now, I want to talk about troubled mothers or troubled circumstances. It doesn't matter whether these mothers are physically challenged or emotionally challenged, or whether we have a troubled relationship with them or not. I always like to honor that, and I have the prayer team, the God Squad, pray on those names, because we don't need to know what the circumstance. Just put their name in the comment section, and we'll honor you with a rose. But first, let's hear from Faith as we talk about moms being somebody's hero.
Multitasking, yay! She never pulled anybody from a burning building. She never rocked Central Park to 500,000 fans screaming out her name. She never hit a shot to win the game. She never left her friends on the road. She never made a solo hot air balloon ride around the world. So she's just your everyday average girl, but she is somebody's hero, a hero to her baby with the skin dumping. A little kiss is all she needs. The keeper of the Cheerios, the voice that brings Snow White to life. Bedtime stories every night. That smile lets her know she's somebody's hero. She didn't get a check every week like a 9-to-5, but she's a waiter and a cook and a taxi driver. They're at home until the day her girl was grown. Giving all the love to her was a life's ambition. About her baby's moving on, and she'll soon be missing her. But not today. Those tears of joy run down her face. She's somebody's hero, a hero to her daughter in the cap and gown. She gave her wings to play around. It hurts to see a baby go. Walks across the south river into her mom. With his eyes, that smile lets her know that she's somebody's hero. 30 years long right by. Daughter staring at all the photographs of mother, and she wishes she could be like that. Oh, but she already is. She's somebody's hero, a hero to her mother in the rocking chair. She brushed right through her hair. The envy at the nursing home. She drops by every afternoon. Feeds her mama with a spoon. That smile lets her know. Her smile lets her know that she's somebody's hero.
Wow, you cut out on that. I wasn't sure.
Oh,
I wasn't sure if you were done because
just try not to get choked up in the middle of that.
Oh, yeah. The next one's really gonna get you, huh?
Oh yeah. Well, with my sister graduating high school in 4 days and having to talk to her about her missing her mother and sharing the same mother, it's been an emotional week. So, but we made it through it. We made it through it.
I actually started crying first thing this morning. I was watching the Della Rico family, and she was talking. She wanted to move back to, I think it's South Carolina or North Carolina, and she was talking about how important family was. They had to go to this zoning commission or whatever and try to get permission to open this business. And she started talking about how important family was. And I just burst into tears and I sobbed for a good half hour. It's like, oh gosh, you know, I hope I can make it through the Mother's Day ceremony. So I know exactly what you mean. It's just emotional all the way around. So thank you, Faith, so much. We appreciate you. Oh my goodness. So let's talk a minute about those troubled relationships. You know, we don't come with a user manual that tells our mothers how to parent us. Like at my sister's memorial, I said that because, you know, there wasn't a manual for this is how you raise Johnny and this is how you raise Brendan and this is how you raise Mikey. It's just sort of you learn as you go. And so even if you think the relationship is good, there is always this unspoken thing that happens where you hold things against your mother. So if you have any of those kind of feelings, we're going to work with that today because we want to make sure that anything that is unhealed gets healed today. That's part of why we do the ceremony the way we do it. And so in a minute, we're going to do a little meditation that runs us through issues with our mother. But I also want to honor, as we go forward, those that may have challenges physically or emotionally. But a perfect example was, you know, my mom, God bless her. She's been gone almost 6 years. October will be 6 years. She was raised in the hills of Tennessee on a farm. Her mother died by the time she was 8. Her father died by the time she was 11. And so she went to live with her grandmother who died when she was 13. And that's the same for my Aunt Jackie. They were raised together. And she was pretty much on her own from 13 on. So she had a certain skill set that didn't necessarily match my needs. And so we want to be aware of that it's not so much that our mothers failed, as much as it is they may not match our particular needs. Their skill set may not match our particular needs. So we're going to be speaking their names into the room if you are willing. And so I am pretty sure that as we do this meditation, there's going to be stuff that comes up that you weren't even aware of. So I want you to allow that to come up, allow it to be healed, and we can move on from there. All right. Okay, Faith. So I invite you to close your eyes if that feels comfortable. And just tune into the sound of my voice as you take a couple of really deep breaths in through your nose. Hold it for a second and release out through your mouth. We're going to blow it out. Notice where there's tension in your body. Just sort of allow your attention to go there. As we breathe in one more time, in through the nose, hold it, and release out through the mouth. I want you to become aware of how the tension is lessening with each breath, kind of sweeping out all the tension and all the things that we might be thinking about today. Let's take one last deep cleansing breath in through the nose. Hold it and release. And if there's anything else that seems to be nagging at you in this moment, put it on a little spiritual notepad, knowing that you can retrieve it anytime you want. Now imagine that you're sitting in a room with two chairs that are facing each other. You sitting in one chair and your mother sitting in the other chair. And you begin to share with your mother all of the gooky stuff that has happened to you in your life. Anything that you may have been holding against your mother, or that you feel like she was responsible for. Anytime she didn't step in where you wanted her to, or anytime that her own feelings got in the way of what you needed at that moment. Just let it all out. Just tell her everything. Notice that as you're doing this, your mother is receiving it with wide open heart. No judgment, no crying because you're sharing, no anger because you're sharing, but instead that unconditional love and that open heart, receiving everything that you're saying. Give you another moment to finish sharing that. Let it all out. How that made you feel, how it kept you from doing things in your life. How it maybe affects your relationships today. Perhaps your mother has passed away and you don't have the opportunity to speak to her directly anymore. In this space, in this time, in this moment, you can do just that. Let her know how all of her decisions affected her life. Again, she's sitting there with her heart wide open, love in her eyes, receiving everything you're saying with grace. Buddy. Now imagine that having shared all of this information, having shared your pain and your feelings, having shared how this impacted your life, your mother says to you, I am so sorry. I never intended to hurt you or make you feel this way. I love you, and I'm proud of you. Thank you for sharing this. Thank you for letting me know. And hopefully now I can make a difference in your life. Knowing that I created this and now have the opportunity to create a different experience. You look at your mother with love in your eyes. You see the love in her eyes. You've heard what she had to say. You realize that she did the best she could with the skill set that she had. You realize that all this stuff that you've been holding in has been keeping you from living your life perfectly. And now you're ready to let it go. You're ready to say, I forgive you, Mom. I totally and completely and absolutely forgive you. I love you. Thank you for sharing this moment with me, for hearing me, for being there for me. I forgive you. Now hug your mom. And notice there's a lightness in your body. A lightness in your heart. You feel like a feather that's floating on air. You know you are now free to move on with your life in a healed way. Have one last experience of hugging your mom, and then focus on your breath. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Become aware of your surroundings as you move your consciousness back in this room. And hopefully we hear from Tina. Singing Dear Ellie. Thank you, America.
Dear Ellie, I want you to know that you're here in my heart. Wherever I go, though we're miles apart, and 10 years have gone by, I filled up a river with the tears I have cried. Dear Ellie, what can I say? The love in my heart grows stronger each day. Do you know that I love you? Do you know that I care? Do you dream of, I'm dreaming of the day I'll be there to love you and hug you. Be the one to show you the way. I long to kiss you and know you, and share those little things that make up your day. Dear Ellie, I long to tuck you in bed, kiss you goodnight, and caress your head. But now you're older, I hear you almost all grown. I grieve for the child I wish I could have known. Dear Ellie, sent you this prayer that no matter what happens, I'll always be there. You are my heart, you are my soul. All these years I wanted you to know that I love you and miss you, and pray we'll be together again. I will be waiting and praying. And I'll greet you as a mother and a friend. Dear Annie, I want you to know. Dear Annie, I just want you to know. Dear Annie, dear Annie, dear Annie, I love you so. You couldn't hear that.
Yes, we heard you. Thank you so much for doing that song. That is a troubled relationship that I didn't mention, and I know I put on the other service we were doing that first, and then we were doing the forgiveness meditation. So poor Tina had to like pull back from the tears and like, okay, sing now. It's a song about someone who gave up someone for adoption. A mother who gave up their kid for adoption. So that's an important relationship, that troubled relationship where you've never met your mom. And I love those shows that like reunite people with their long lost mother. I cry and cry and cry and cry, you know, because that is a special relationship that you don't even know you miss, like we don't know that we miss. But imagine growing up with never knowing your mother, like never having any connection at all to her. So I always like to acknowledge that, and we haven't had anyone who wanted to acknowledge these mothers. So I'm just going to, instead of speaking their name into the room, I'm just going to honor them right here, right now by saying, we bless these mothers whose sacrifices might have been greater than we know, who gave up their kid for adoption, or who could not function normally, and so were unable to provide us with what we needed because they didn't have the capacity to do that. So we honor these mothers and we bless them. We bless the sacrifices that they did make. We bless their lives for whatever those lives are, and we love them. So those are the blessings. And if you would like, you can DM Faith and she will send you a pink rose for this virtually. So anyway, thank you. Thank you so much, Tina. All right. Now we're moving into that special segment of honoring mothers that have gone on. Who've passed away. As I mentioned earlier, I've lost almost all of my mother figures as well as my own mother. And so this one is kind of a difficult one for me, just to let you know ahead of time. I lost my mother. It's been 6 years. October will be 6 years. I lost Dr. Kathleen Vogt, who we called Reverend Mother, who was kind of a surrogate mother to a lot of us. I lost her the year before I lost my mom. And then I lost Dr. Marjorie about a year after my mom died. And then I lost Dr. Marlene Morris last year, as I said. And so I'm speaking their names into the room today as I am going to light a candle here. But I really want you to type into the comments section your mothers that have gone on, because I want to speak them into the room as I light this candle, as we honor them. Not that they're not always here, they're always here, but I think when we call attention to them, when we speak their name into the room, what we do is we bring them forward. And so I want to do that. So please type those names in the comment section as I read this last reading here. Oh, need glasses again. This is called the Mother's Day Visit, and it was published in the Olean Times Herald in 1991. Excuse me, just a minute. I get choked up and my nose starts running. Okay. It was a crisp blue sky and sunshine day, warm for the month of May, but hinting strongly at summer's promise. It flowed gently like the breeze that ruffled her hair. You meander, enjoying the brightness and the warmth of the sun. And as you walk along the old worn path to Mama's, you reflect on things past. You're grown now and can look back. She was always fussing at me. Sit up straight. Make sure your face is clean and don't forget to wash behind your ears. Sit still and don't fidget. Don't be going out disappearing. Supper's almost ready. The words echo in your mind and in your heart. Mama always fussed, but then Mama always cared because she loved to cook. She always loved to bake, and she baked the best cookies and cakes after school. There was always a large slice of something and a glass of milk just to tide you over until we eat. Not in my house. We always got told, you'll spoil your supper. Glad that you were home and the house wasn't so empty anymore, and how she hated the rips and tears and half-hanging buttons that had to be mended. Come here, she'd say playfully, grabbing your arm as you tried to fly by her without her seeing, and all the while searching for the needle and thread. She had the eye of an eagle. Nothing escaped her vision, not a smile, not a tear. Like the time you broke her favorite vase, and you were so afraid that you hid under your bed and she'd come looking for you. You were certain that it was the end of your little life and sobbed out what you'd done, and she just held you close in her arms and whispered in your hair, just as long as it's not you that's broken. She was always there for the good times and the bad, the heartaches and the joys, for the excellent and ordinary days of our lives. Always helping, holding, laughing with you, crying with you, tucking you in and kissing you goodnight until you thought you'd gotten too big. Always making sure you knew that she cared and you knew that she loved you. You'd asked her that once. I loved you from the moment I first saw you, she said, and with a twinkle in her bright, beautiful eyes, you were the ugliest child. And she'd laugh, knowing that you knew that she didn't mean it, at least not the ugly part. You always knew that she loved you. Like when you went away for the first time and had called home because you were so homesick. She had said, oh, it'll be all right. You'll be fine. You only have to call. We'll be right here for you. And they always were. And you'd say, I'll work hard and make you proud of me. And she'd said, I already am. And she always was. She believed in you even when you didn't. You can picture her now standing on the porch step, hands caught up in her aprons to hide the flour from the fresh biscuits, yelling for your dad to come inside before everything was cold. Her voice trying to sound so harsh, while her heart was happy and glad for the moment in time when she stood and watched you silently before she called out. All through the years, you'd always meant to find somehow to tell her, to show her how much she meant to you. Now as you walk along reflecting on the years gone by, you finger the red roses in your arm, knowing that they will be her very first. Stopping, you place them on the ground before the cold granite stone and whisper, Hi, Mama, happy Mother's Day. I'm late as usual. And you can almost hear her say, I love you always, in every way. Tina.
I hope you never lose your sense of wonder. Get your fill to eat, but always keep that hunger. May you never take one single breath for granted. God forbid you ever leave you empty-handed. I hope you still feel small when you stand beside the ocean. Never wander closer, I hope one more open. Promise me that you'll keep faith, fighting care. And when you get the choice, sit it out, oh, dance, dance. I hope you dance. I hope you never fear those mountains in the distance. Never settle for the path of least resistance. Living might mean taking chances, but it's worth taking. Loving might be a mistake, but it's worth making. Don't let some hell-bent heart leave you bitter. When you come close to setting out, you consider if the heavens above just more than the path you walk. You get the truth and sit it out, oh dance. I hope you 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 still feel small when you can't get time to your feet. Never wander closest. I hope one more thing. Promise you that I will be sanctified and faith. And when you get to bed, you sit it out, oh, dance, dance. I hope you dance. I hope you dance. And I hope you dance. I hope you dance. And I pray you dance too. I hope you dance too.
Oh, thank you, Tina. I know that the mothers out there that have passed on do hope their daughters are dancing. So, okay, all right, here we go. We're having a little bit of a tough time this year, but we'll get through this, I promise. Okay. So right now, I'm going to light a memorial candle in the name of all of these mothers that have passed on. I'm going to start out with my list because I know them well enough, and I've got the comments here to go by for the rest of them. So first off, I want to acknowledge my Grandma Bertha, my Grandma Rose, my Mother Mary, Dr. Kathleen, Dr. Marjorie, Dr. Marlene, and Joey. Even though she wasn't a mother to me, she was a mother to the 3 boys that she's left with me. So I'm going to speak her name into the room as well. And then Terry Lynn from Faith. And Cindy says, my Gram Ida Windsor, my sister Jackie Machetta, my Aunt Marie and Aunt Ella, I remember Ella, along with my mom Shirley Koch, were all the wonderful mom figures in my village. So we're speaking them into the room as well. Let me get this up in here. Because I light this candle, I am blessing these mothers who have passed on, who sacrificed for us, and sometimes gave up a lot of things just so that we could have stuff, that have given us our identities as moms ourselves, for those of us who are women, and have passed on all of their knowledge and wisdom of what it's like to be a mom. So we thank them. We bless them. We honor them for all of that. Faith?
All right, we're gonna see if I can get through this.
Is it me, or have I deceived myself? I thought I heard you call me. I really thought I saw your face, but after a second, I thought I made a clear mistake. Mother, I miss you, and I just wish you were with me, so we could laugh and talk again. Mother, I miss you, and I just kiss you, see it all away. 'Cause you know I never see you again. So much I wanted to show you, so much I wanted to give. I thought our time would be much longer. Missing my best friend. Mother, I miss you, and I just wish you were with me, so we can laugh and talk again. Mother, I miss you, and now I'll just kiss you and send it all away. 'Cause I know I need to see you again. Ay.
I gotta hand it to you. You did better than I did. Oh my gosh. I know that's a tough one. Let me get Oz in here too, if we can get him in. Is he there? Mr. Oz?
I think he's having some technical difficulties still.
It kind of looks that way. Okay.
There he
There he is.
Yay. Okay. So thank you for being here. I know there's 1,000 things you could be doing on a Sunday morning, especially on Mother's Day. Go out and celebrate Mother's Day with your mother if you can. It's a special time to give her that day. Hi, Bernice. Hi, Mom. And join us here next week at 10:30 a.m. Mountain Time and every Sunday. But next week, we're going to be finishing that series by, what is her name? Sarah Wise, that I've been doing. Next week is the 4th in the series. So definitely join us then. And until we see you, we're going to let Oz pray us out.
I know that right here, right now, God's presence is felt with each and every one of us. And God is all there is, and we rest in the ocean of God. I allow that to rise up and give us buoyancy through the week and through our lives. I know that this is good and very good. And let it be so, and so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for hanging in there with us. We were 15 minutes over. I'm so sorry. I tried to cut out music and things, but there's just, you have to do all the honoring. So we had to do it that way. So in the meantime, before we see you next week, wear a mask, stay safe. Bless you. We love you.
Happy
Thank
Mother's
you.
Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
I don't know. We lost Oz again.